He certainly had a complicated relationship with the female of the species, as it were. Like, he was either utterly dismissive, as in ploughing a till for, I can't remember the love letter that he wrote. But yeah, so there's that, the 50% deficient, that the majority of hell is made up with women, that kind of thing. Or he was pretty cloying in terms of Aisha and Khadijah, certainly. And call me a cynic. I feel that may be to do with more of a power play than a genuine affection. But what do you think?
And there was also this thing. Now, when we talk about mental problems and all that, I don't want to be denigrating or anything. I'm just pointing these things out to explain that Muhammad was a human who had problems. He was not a prophet of God or anything. But there is this one incident that I find just amazing, which is when it comes to women. He walks outside, according to a very well-known narration. He walks outside and sees a woman walk by. And the sight of a woman walking outside becomes so uncomfortable to him that he has a pressing problem and hurries home to one of his wives, Zainab in this case, and immediately has sex with her to relieve his problem. And then after he's relieved, he goes out to the people and says, the woman comes in the shape of a devil. So whenever you see a woman, go to your wife, to basically have sex.
So the devil comes in the shape of a woman, I reckon would make more sense.
Oh, wait, did I say the opposite? No,
yeah, don't worry. It's just all of us. You just threw under the bus. But, that's all right, because, you clearly are a prophet. It says it on the screen. So
no, it actually says the woman comes and goes in the shape of a devil. That's what he actually says.
So he gets turned on by devils as opposed to
ladies? I guess the implication there is when a woman comes and goes and she incites you. She deceives you with her appearance. So
hold on, it's not she, it's a he, because he's saying it's a shaitan, a jinn, let's say, I don't know, like a malevolent spirit who's got some corporeal nature. A devil shows up in the guise of a woman. So it's not really a woman, it's someone who identifies as a woman potentially, but is actually a demon.
Or women have the devil in them, and that's why
I advise you to tread very carefully. So
that's what he says. That's not.
Then it must be true.
So that's what he says. He comes out and says, the woman comes in the shape of a devil. So when you see a woman outside, go to your wife and get rid of
how
what
about when you've got
within
four?
you.
Which one do you choose? And how do you know that all of them have had the devil? Maybe they've had the hell scared out of them.
Well, if you have women at home, then you can use those to relieve yourself from whatever the devil women outside give you. But here's the thing. This is known as hypersexuality. This is it's weird that the prophet of Allah, the Almighty, Allah's prophet, who is the perfect human being, has this problem that people among us are supposed to have, because they are not the perfect prophets of Allah. And you would look up to him, but he has that.
Genuine prophets, like what I would deem genuine, as in, because I'm a Christian, the biblical, let's put it that way, prophets, none of them were supposed to be perfect. It's pretty much in the job description that you're going to be fallible, you're going to be sinful, you're going to have doubts potentially, you're going to have problems, because it's like, if nothing else, it's a brilliant way to illustrate God's faithfulness and overcoming of, Moses even, who's mentioned so many times in the Quran, like the micromanagement that Yahweh, like he's like, oh no, but what if I say this and they say that? And Yahweh's like, no, you say this and they will say that. Then you pick up the stick, it will become a snake. You did it. Like he's so like he's giving him all of the lines, like, don't worry, you say that. Like, and at one point Moses is like, oh, can't you get someone else? Like my brother's looking pretty calm, or
Yeah.
So it was an Islamic innovation or an introduction to theology that claims to have its base in Yahweh, that prophets are perfect. Obviously, Christ is a different kettle of fish, as it were, but Mohammed wouldn't necessarily know that because he got a lot of the genealogy and the stuff.
And that's not supposed to be part of the theology or of the religious doctrines of this religion that he's trying to adopt. In his religion, suddenly prophets are considered these flawless, perfect people, and he himself,
unless they've got the words of Satan on their lips, because after he did that, he threw everyone else under the bus and said, "Wow, it's not just me, bro." And then, so how are they now? Like, I wonder how that's. I mean, it's contradictory to my mind, my little female mind, but I wonder how, if anyone ever said to him, "What?" Like, I don't see that much in the Hadith. People going, "You joking?" Or any no one ever. Oh, and it says, what is it? Do not ask questions if you feel that the answer will distress you. But what, are you psychic now? How do you know if the answer is going to distress? The answer could be yeah, or the answer could be nah, like, or maybe. Or,
you know what's very funny? There is a hadith that I came across yesterday that I never really paid attention to, or that I didn't really see in the past, which says something along the lines of, I'm trying to remember it, but it says something along the lines of, when the prophet was alive, we would not, chat and talk, with our women, with women very much, in fears that there would be a revelation that would come concerning us. But after the prophet died, we started to freely, engage in whatever we want to talk about.
Sorry, let me just get that one straight. So, because you've got to try it at least, even though you've got to turn your brain into slush. But it didn't associate much with women. I would have thought they'd say, like, quietly from the side of their mouth, in case Mohammed decided there was no adoption and, well, I don't know, something or other, and like bring her over it. But no, it's in case Mohammed had a revelation specifically about them.
Maybe they were afraid that Muhammad was going to have a revelation
specifically, that checks mine, bro.
Specifically about their wives, and like, hey, that wife will serve a grand mission on Allah's planet for all of us. So you must divorce her, and I must marry her to prove to people.
He must have been laughing all the way to the Kaaba, oftentimes, like, just if he existed.
Okay, I have the narration. Yeah, I have the narration. It says, Sahih Bukhari 5187, during the lifetime of the Prophet, we used to avoid chatting leisurely and freely with our wives, lest some divine inspiration might be revealed concerning us. But when the Prophet had died, we started chatting leisurely and freely with them. I just read that and I thought, that is quite odd.
It's legit. I mean, I often don't speak to other humans when my friends are around, just in case. God, like, what? It's not. I mean, that does it. Like, that testifies anyway to the very localized, personally beneficial to Muhammad nature of these revelations for all time and all peoples. Like, it's almost as if it's all made up.